Hello everybody, my name is Mark Dutton and this is Cop for That Q&A. First time we've done this. A young high school student contacted me and basically wanted to pick my brains in relation to the league. So we're going to have a little discuss about soccer in general or football. So his name is Vincent Lamiano, I hope I said his name right. And let's just go straight into the questions. Okay, first question, what is your favourite team in the Premier League and why? Well, my favourite team is Liverpool. And it is Liverpool because when you are a child growing up in Liverpool, and again I was born in 78, so late 70s, early 80s, there was only really two teams in the what was then the old First Division before it was branded the Premier League, and it was Liverpool or Everton. They were the best teams in that time period. So it was probably more of a dominating factor that most of my friends were Reds, their family were Reds, their dads, their brothers, their sisters were Liverpool fans. I would say the ratio was probably 90 to 10% red and blue throughout my school, throughout the football teams that I played for. So yeah, it was an easy choice. I liked red better than blue. If I had a bike, I wanted a red bike rather than a blue bike, even though I had a blue bike. But I also had a red bike. I think I liked my red bike better. So red was my colour, and I think you either choose red or blue at an early age, so I chose red. I think only Alex Cave, I can remember in my primary school, which is like 5 to 11, was an Everton fan. There wasn't, like I said, there wasn't many Everton fans that I grew up with. I went to high school, it was like the same. So yeah, Liverpool was a team for me, and it was a fantastic choice, and I have loved every moment of being a Liverpool supporter, especially off the back of beating Manchester City yesterday 3-0 in quarterfinals of the Champions League. What is the best league in the world right now? And I'll compare it with others. Oh, well, for me the best league in the world is the English Premier League, and I'll tell you why. I just think that the teams are more even. I think on any given season, any team in the top 6 can win the league. Where if you look at Juventus, basically in Italy, they're the only team that wins Serie A in recent times, with not many other teams challenging it at all. If you go to Germany, it's basically Bayern Munich. When Jurgen Klopp was obviously manager of Borussia Dortmund, he took that title away from Bayern Munich, but they basically have the best players in the world playing in that team. None of the other teams in Germany can compare. Spain, 2-horse race, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Every now and again, Atletico have a go. Sevilla are kind of there and thereabouts, but the top 2 normally run away with that league. In the Premier League, like I said, multiple teams can win it. It basically changes hands every single season. You know, a team like Chelsea can win the league and then finish 7th. A team from nowhere in relation to Leicester City, a team that most people are tipped to be relegated that season, win the league. Unbelievable. I don't think that will ever happen again in my lifetime, but it did happen. It definitely wouldn't happen in Germany, wouldn't happen in Spain, and it wouldn't happen in Italy. So yeah, for me it's the most exciting league. I would say fan-wise, the German fans come close because of the atmosphere. They have a lot of safe standing in their stadiums, and that helps the atmosphere. So I think the German fans do it right. I think the German Federation do it right in relation to ticket prices. So a lot of good things come from Germany. So I would say for me, the best league in the world is the English Premier League. I would say Germany would come second. Spain would come, I would probably say tied for third with Italy. I don't really enjoy Spanish and Italian football at all. The funny thing was, our most exciting player in 1990 was a guy called Paul Gascoigne. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable. And he moved from Tottenham Hotspur to Serie A, to Italy, to sign for Lazio. And I remember watching, I would watch Italian football. Most of my friends would watch Gazzetta on a Sunday morning in England before we went to play football. Just basically because we wanted to watch Gazza, because he was one of the most talented footballers in the world at that time. So that was our little love-in with Italian football. I think once Gazza stopped playing in Italy, then we kind of stopped watching it. It's very slow, very boring. Being a coach, what makes the teams in the Premier League more talented? I think they're more talented than the teams in the US, purely because we play on a map with the rest of the world. In relation to Europe, we're all on the same page. I think the American season, like the MLS, is split up. We have phenomenal youth academies where we're bringing in kids at 5 years old and they stay with Liverpool, hopefully all the way up till becoming professional footballers. So our system is in place. I don't think youth soccer in America is set up to succeed. I feel like the American football federation, soccer federation, is pretty poorly run, and I feel like the amount of academies, that sort of so-called academies, are ruining youth soccer over here. Coaches are over here and they're not qualified to do the job, but pretending they are, and the parents don't know any of the better. I think that it's come a long way in the last 20 plus years that I've been here, but I still feel like it can be done. It could be run a lot better. There could be more structure, and I feel like the top MLS teams need to do a lot more to support youth soccer in America. It's the only way it's going to improve, and at the moment I feel like their academies need a lot of work and a lot of help. How do you feel about the Premier League and its success? Phenomenal. There's a lot of money. It's a better platform. I think when I first came over here in '96, '97, it was actually hard to actually watch the game. Technology's come a long way now. I can watch games on my phone. I can watch games on the television. NBC basically cover it. Basically, back in England, you have to pay a lot of money for different subscriptions to actually watch the game on television. Where over here, basically, if you have TV, you can watch it for free, or if you've got a smartphone, you can watch it on your smartphone. So being able to watch football, being able to watch the Premier League, it's fantastic. We're still not attracting the megastars in relation to Messi and Ronaldo, but how many Messi and Ronaldos are there? I think the best player in the league right now is Mohamed Salah. Liverpool signed from Italian football, signed from Roma. That was previously at Chelsea. We got him for a steal, around about £35 million, and they're already talking about him. What I would like to see happen with the Premier League is we get to a point where we can stop our players going to Barcelona, because obviously Phil Coutinho left in January and he went to Barcelona because that was his dream to play there as a kid, which is fair enough. But we seem to lose all our players to Barcelona and Real Madrid. The best Liverpool players recently have gone there, and I think Tottenham lost Gareth Bale to there. We've lost Suarez, so lots of players are drawn to Spanish football, which I don't think is a high standard. I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid are great, they're a fantastic team, so are Bayern Munich and Juventus, but the rest of the league in comparison is very poor for me. What is the difference between players in youth level and professional? The level of coaching, I would say, especially in this country, the youth players aren't being coached well enough. I feel like sessions are boring. Players are bored playing the sport. I feel like there needs to be a huge improvement in this level for the youth players in this country to get to professional stature. I think the professional footballers, like you said, it's probably one in a million that can actually get there, and then everything is mapped out for them, from food to education to their entire day is basically structured. I don't think there's enough structure in youth soccer, especially over here, to develop these players to becoming top professionals. How do you feel about the economy of the Premier League? It's fantastic. I think there's a lot of money there. My only thing is, I would like to see a salary cap come in, protecting the teams like Liverpool, like Tottenham Hotspur, who aren't bankrolled by a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. The last transfer of Neymar to Paris Saint-Germain, I didn't even talk about the French league, and again, there's only one team winning that. I think they won it 2 weeks ago with 10 games to go. It was insane. £200 million, which is what, nearly $500 million for a player. That's crazy. So there needs to be a salary cap for me. There needs to be a transfer fee where you can say, you know, the most expensive player in the world can go for 80 million. That's it, no more. So like the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, you're not paying any more than 80 million. And if there's 5 clubs that want him, then Messi turns around and he makes a choice. I'm going to go to Liverpool instead of Man United, Man City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, whatever. But there needs to be like the NFL. Salary caps and transfer fees need to be put a stop to, because it can only go. I mean, we're going to be talking about the £1 billion player soon, surely. It's probably going to be Mo Salah, but it can be Mo Salah in 10 years. How much of a role do you think the fans in the Premier League influence the rest of the world? The fans in the Premier League are pretty, again, you're born into it. It's not like over here where you can actually pick and choose. I've seen American kids change football teams every season because the team that they rooted for last year had a bad year, so they switched. There's more tribalism around football. You're basically born into it. You don't get to choose. If you're from Leicester, you basically support Leicester. If you're from Manchester, you would have picked Man United, but now Manchester City have obviously come up. I would still say you're going to pick Man United over Man City, but Manchester City have a big following. Liverpool, obviously Everton or Liverpool, I would say, again, 90% of people from that area would pick Liverpool over Everton. So yeah, I think the fans are insane. I mean, the amount of supporters clubs around the world. If I'm just looking at the Premier League in general, the amount of supporter clubs around the world, especially Liverpool, they're everywhere. They're in every state in America. They're in Canada. They're in Bangkok. They're in China. They're in Italy. We've got supporters clubs all around the world. It's absolutely incredible. Liverpool's fan base is humongous right now. I would say that the fans from around the world, from different clubs. I've seen Leicester City fans in New York. I've seen Spurs fans, and I've seen basically every football club from the English Premier League in America. Kids wearing different jerseys, so it's huge. It's absolutely humongous. Do I believe that Premier League is recession-proof? I do. I don't think it could be in a situation where they struggle. Fans are still going to pay ticket prices. The worry is that we outprice the kid that I went the game. I went with Paul Armbrust the first time I ever went to the match. We went to the Cop. We paid, I would say, $10 on the gate, which was £5, and we just walked into the stadium and we stood there and we watched Liverpool play for the first time on the Cop. I feel like now, prices of the tickets are astronomical. You're paying. And again, it doesn't really compare to American sports, because for an American sport, you're paying, you don't even think twice about paying over $100 for a ticket, where in the Premier League now, it's basically $100, $120, $150, $200 to go and watch a game. So you're outpricing the kid. I couldn't pay that much money to go watch a match, go watch Liverpool play Manchester City, paying over $100. I couldn't have done it. No way. I would have to have saved up a year to actually be in a situation there. So the fear is we're losing the next generation, because only men now are going to the match, where previously it was very kid based. There was kids everywhere. I don't think kids can afford to go anymore. So that's the worry there. If I was offered to coach any team in the Premier League, which one would it be and why? Me being a coach, I'm coaching for over 20 years. I would coach any team in the league. I wouldn't say no to any team. Obviously, my preference would be the big red machine in Liverpool, but I wouldn't turn down any job if anybody came a knocking. I am available to coach in the Premier League if anyone's interested. Yeah, I would take any of the jobs. I would be happy to do it, but Liverpool would be my number one choice, obviously, and it would be broadcast that I would want to coach at Liverpool one day. When Klopp's ready to retire, I'll step in. I'll step in and help him out. No problem at all. I think this is the last question. Do you think the Premier League is competitive and entertaining? It really is. It really is. I mean, especially when you've got two teams in the league. When you've got two teams in the league, like Manchester United. When you've got two teams in the league, like Manchester United and Manchester City, playing the level of football that they're playing, it's just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. They're just unbelievable. And like I said, the beautiful thing about the Premier League is the fact that any team can beat any team on any given day. just looking back over these questions now, making sure I haven't wrecked any of them. Yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait on a Saturday and a Sunday to watch the Premier League. Just going back over the questions now. 9. If you were offered to coach any team in the league, which one would it be? And if not, why not? So we have already talked about Liverpool. Do you believe that the Premier League is recession-proof? I do, but I feel like there needs to be things brought in relation to salary caps and transfer fees. How much of a role do you think the fans of the Premier League influence the game? It's huge. I think it's the biggest league in the world. The fans are all around the world, and I feel like their voice is being heard, especially through social media. There's people like me now has a platform to talk through YouTube. There's a million. There's Arsenal Fan TV. The Anfield Rap is another brilliant one that I watch from Liverpool. The guys there do a phenomenal job. Arsenal Fan TV is just entertainment. It really is. It's brilliant if you get a chance to watch it. Vinny, have a watch at Arsenal Fan TV. You'll love it. So yeah, the fans are having more of an influence on the players, especially through tweeting and social media. They can communicate with the players. I think they have a huge influence. 6 was, how do you feel the economy of the Premier League? How do you feel about the economy? We talked about that. What is the difference between players in youth level and professional? We talked about that. How do you feel about the Premier League and its success or lack of success? It's the biggest league in the world. No problem about that. 3, being a coach, what makes the players in the Prem more talented and at such a level? It's the structure from the bottom to the top, and the scouting network. They're bringing in some of the best young players from around the world. What is the best league in the world compared with other leagues? Done that. And who is your favourite team in the Premier League and why? Liverpool Football Club. Okay, Vinny, I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Look forward to seeing your report after it is done. Again, my name has been Mark Dutton. This has been Q&A from Vinny Lambrano from New Jersey, USA. Ta-ra for now, Reds. Ta-ra for now. My name has been Mark Dutton. This has been Cough for That Q&A. Ta-ra.